Combining two different series always produces the same fears. There's the natural temptation to turn the mashup into a revolving door of fan service, settling on checking the most obvious of boxes instead of using the opportunity to make something truly new. Another worry is that both sides will compromise themselves to make the whole thing work, like fitting a square peg in a round hole. Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, for the most part, doesn't fall victim to such problems. While it isn't as good as the best outings of either the gentlemanly professor or exclamatory attorney, it's nonetheless a consistently captivating journey that offers more than enough to please admirers of either side.
Hold it! Your Honor, I request that the court hold its verdict a moment longer.
A huge contributor to the game's success is its excellent setting. The fantastical world of Labyrinthia is the kind of place where anything seems possible. Its inhabitants include great witches, haughty inquisitors, and couriers with voices so piercing they'll leave your ears ringing. Labyrinthia has so many unexplained happenings that when Phoenix and Layton do cross paths, it hardly feels unnatural. While the dynamic investigators are indeed enjoyable on screen together, it's really the quirky denizens of the witch-infested town that steal the show. Whether it's Sir Zacharias Barnum brandishing his sword at Phoenix from the prosecutor's seat, or the local drunk Emir splashing a drink on his reddened face, these characters are so animated that you can't help but be enchanted.
Barnum! 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 Barnum!
Although going into too much detail would spoil the best moments, the adventure is primarily about Phoenix, Layton, and company discovering the truth behind the storyteller, a man who creates Labyrinthia's future with his stories. As the tale unfolds, players slowly peel back the layers of Labyrinthia's mysteries. Expect regular twists and turns that practically turn everything you know upside down. The narrative slowly unfurls until it becomes completely ridiculous. If you stop to pick at it, it all starts to fall apart. Important moments, circumstances, and rules are glossed over, and even initially significant characters, like the aforementioned knight, Zacharias Barnum, are largely abandoned in the game's final third. These issues only become problematic in hindsight, however. The game is so intent on catching you off guard and throwing you into the next puzzling case that such things are easy to forget, encouraging you to just go along for the ride. Like any good fantasy story, the game is more concerned with entertainment than it is about making perfect sense. What does consistently get in the way is how slow certain scenes move. Characters occasionally retread the same ground or reach a particular point in the most roundabout way possible. It's a problem found in both the Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright series, so it isn't too surprising that it's present here. Much like those games, however, it's never so bad as to become ruinous. Everything still fits into the 25-hour or so story, but the experience could have been exceptional with a little grooming. Of course, it would hardly be a crossover if the game didn't feature an abundance of puzzle solving and courtroom drama. Unexpectedly, there's never a strong effort to mix the two elements, and it's probably for the better. By the time you've had your fill of cross-examining witnesses, you'll be off figuring out how to open doors with bizarre locks and how to mix sensitive alchemical liquids. By keeping the puzzles and court cases mostly separate, there's never time to get sick of either one. Level-5 and Capcom seem to know exactly what makes the Layton and Ace Attorney games work, managing to bring many strong aspects from each without forcing gimmicks for the sake of it. Not to say the game doesn't get playful. Expect to see Luke and Maya, the plucky assistants of Layton and Phoenix respectively, team up and take leading roles. Additionally, there are times when Phoenix has to solve a puzzle or two, while Layton takes the stand.
Do it, Miss Maya! Just what I'd expect from the Professor's Apprentice.
Yet for as much as it gets right, there are several big disappointments. In every Phoenix Wright game, investigations play a big part. You talk to witnesses, gather information, and piece together clues. Sadly, they're woefully short in this game, rarely lasting longer than a few minutes. The evidence you need to locate is usually so obvious that there's no joy in finding it, making investigations feel thrown in.
Objection!
Additionally, the puzzles and court cases start out so simple that they feel like obstacles rather than the fun challenges they should be. Perhaps it's because the game doesn't want to alienate fans on either side, but too often you can spot the obvious answers quickly. Later on, things do ramp up in difficulty, making the gameplay in the second half more memorable than the first, but it's a shame it takes so long to get there.
I've already seen the answer.
After examining all the evidence, this is one meeting of the minds that's hardly objectionable. Whether you're a Layton and Phoenix expert or a newcomer, the game does an admirable job of demonstrating why each series is so beloved in the first place. The few rough edges do little to dull the wonder of Labyrinthia, making us hope that these heroes will someday reunite.
This court finds the accused guilty of being a witch.
No!
So, this is the witch's court.